Hello, welcome back. So today we are talking about temperature conversions. This video goes along with the link that's in Schoology. That's the Cami link. This is not for a grade. This is like the notes on how to do this. So we're going to start here. So first we've got up here at the top of the page, you have each of your formulas. So I just want to point that out to you. And do notice the parentheses. So you do need to hit enter or equals on your calculator before you go on to the next step, because otherwise you won't get the correct answer. So we're going to start with the first one, 0 Celsius, and we need to convert that into Fahrenheit. So Fahrenheit is Celsius times 1.8. So it's 0, so we're going to put in 0 times 1.8, and of course that's 0. And then the next step is to add 32. So 0 plus 32 is 32. Now we're supposed to get Kelvin. And to get Kelvin, you take the Celsius measurement and then add 273.15. So if the Celsius measurement 0, 0 plus 273.15 is 273.15. Easy peasy. I managed to get oh, well, no, there it was. I just didn't turn the lights on. Try again. All right, now the lights are on. Maybe my calculator will work. So now we've got the boiling point of water, and we're given that the boiling point of water is 212 in Fahrenheit. So we've got to use this formula here to figure out the answer. So we're going to put in 212, 212, and then the next step is minus 32. So 212 minus 32, and then we've got to hit equals, got to hit enter, equals 180, okay? And then we do the next step, which is to divide by 1.8. So divide by 1.8, and 180 divided by 1.8 is 100, which of course is the boiling point of water in Celsius. So we knew that. All right, so what about for Kelvin? So remember, for Kelvin, what do? Right, we just add 273.15. So 100 plus 273, you just add a 1 there, 373.15. All right, let's do one more together without you having to look at any, and then you'll try some on your own and we'll check them. All right, so we're going to start with Kelvin, 77.5, 77.15 Kelvin. So that means we need to subtract 273.15 so that we can figure out what that would be in Celsius. So 77.15 minus 273.15 equals negative 196. And now that we know that, we can convert that into Fahrenheit using our formula up here. So we need to use this formula right here. So we're going to do our Celsius number. So 196 negative, make sure that negative is on there. And we're going to times 1.8, hit enter, and then plus 32. And that comes to negative 320.8. All right, pause it. Try number 4. All right, here's the answer for number 4. So we're starting with the surface of the sun is 9,941 degrees Fahrenheit, and we've got to convert that using our formula over here into Celsius. So it's Fahrenheit minus 32, hit enter, divided by 1.8, and that comes to 5,005. And I am not consistently putting the degrees Celsius, degrees Fahrenheit, and K answers up there. You should do that. Yeah, but I'm not being consistent about it. All right, and then we need to do our Celsius to Kelvin. So we just need to add 273. So plus 273.15 equals 5,778.15. All right, look at the next one. Pause it, figure it out, come back for the answer. All right, so here we go. Number 5, inside a hot car in the summer heat. So we've got 59.33 degrees Celsius. So we've got to convert it to Fahrenheit. So we're going to use our middle formula right here. So it's 59.33. And then we're going to do times 1.8 times 1.8, hit enter, and then plus 32. Plus 32 equals 138.794 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot. All right, and then to get Kelvin, we add 273.15 to our Celsius number. So 59.33 plus 273.15 equals, oops, I messed up. 59.33 plus 273.15. And that's 332.48 Kelvin. All right, classroom temperature is 298.15 K. So we've got to do the same thing we did here, where we do 298.15 and then subtract 273.15 so that we can find out what the answer is in Celsius. So 298.15 minus 273.15 equals 24.65. So room temperature in Celsius is 24.65 degrees Celsius. All right, so then we've got to convert that into Fahrenheit. So we're going to use this formula. So we've got 24.65 already in the calculator from doing the last thing. So now we're going to multiply it times 1.8 times 1.8, hit enter, plus 32 equals 76.37 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, make sure you got that written down. I'm going to scroll it. It's going to take a long time. Maybe I should have just erased. Come on. There we go. All right. All right, y'all. This is not working out. There it goes. It's just taking forever. Fun. All right. So we are now at magma, number 7, magma. So it gave us 2,732 degrees Fahrenheit, 2732. And we've got to use our formula from this column. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite them down. So for Celsius equals Fahrenheit minus 32, and then divide it by 1.8. Fahrenheit equals Celsius times 1.8, and then add 32. And for Kelvin, it's Celsius plus 273.15. All right, so our formulas are now there. We can go. All right, so we're at 2,732 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to use this formula here. So we're going to use this formula here because we've got to get to Celsius. So minus 32 equals, and then divide by 1.8 equals, and that's 1,300 degrees Celsius. And then we add 273.15 to get the Kelvin of 1573.15. All right, do the next one. Come back when you got it, or unpause it when you got it. All right, for the next one, we got to do the same thing we did above, where first we subtract 273.15 from the Kelvin to get the Celsius. So we've got 90.15 minus 273.15, and that's negative 183. So that's the Celsius answer. And now we're going to convert that into Fahrenheit. So times 1.8 equals plus 32 equals negative 297.4. Okay, pause it. Figure out the next one, liquid helium. Here we go. So we've got 270, and you might have to hit the negative button on your calculator to get that negative thing to pop up on the screen. You see how it popped up there? It went away. It's there. Oh, it's on this side. It went away there. And you get it by pressing that button right there. Okay, so we have negative 270, and we're going to use this formula. So times 1.8 plus 32 equals 454. That's a negative degrees Fahrenheit. And then 270 and negative plus 273. 273.15 is 3.15 Kelvin. So liquid helium is 3.15 Kelvin. Interesting to know. All right, do the next one. Pause it. Here we go. So we're going to convert from Fahrenheit to Celsius. So we need to do 459.67, make it negative. And then we're going to look at our formula here. So minus 32 equals, and then divided by 1.8 equals negative 273.15. And then now we need to add 273.15, and we get 0. Absolute zero is 0 Kelvin. All right, coldest day ever recorded on Earth. Pause it. Figure that one out. All right, here we go. We're going to start with 89.2 and then hit negative. And we've got to convert that over into Fahrenheit. So that's times 1.8 equals plus 32 equals. And that's negative 128.56 degrees Fahrenheit. That is cold. Holy moly. All right, and then 89.2 negative plus 273.15 equals 183.95 Kelvin. All right, pause it. Figure out the hottest day recorded on Earth. Here we go. So the first thing we've got to do is the subtraction. So 329.85 minus 273.15. And that's 329.85 minus 273.15 equals 56.7. 56.7 degrees Celsius. And then times 1.8, enter, plus 32, enter, 134.06 degrees Fahrenheit. All right. I'm going to continue to the next document, which is in the folder today, which is this next document is for a grade. So it's listed as an assignment in the Schoology folder. This one you do not have to share back with me. This was just for practice and to get practice with doing the skill. I do want to talk about the formulas. One of the main reasons that I remember the formula is because, first of all, we talked the other day in the notes about that whole 1 to 1.8 thing, right? Where the circle is how we get the degrees, and it's the same circle, whether it's Fahrenheit or Celsius. It's just 0 to 100 or 32 to 212. And this one's divided into 100 pieces. This one's divided into 80 pieces. So that's a ratio of 1 to 1.8. So 1.8, that's where that number comes from. And then 32 is also easy to remember because that's the difference between 0 and 32, the two freezing points. The freezing point of one is 0. The freezing point of the other is 32. 32 minus 0 is 32. So that's where those numbers come from the formula. Then how do you remember what operations to do? Well, I know that Fahrenheit is twice as big as Celsius. So I'm going to use operations that make things bigger, like multiplication and addition. So from Celsius to Fahrenheit, I've got to multiply by 1.8 and then add 32, those operations that make things bigger. And then the opposite, Fahrenheit is bigger than Celsius. I've got to do operations that make it smaller. So I'm going to subtract 32 and then divide by 1.8. It's the same numbers. It's just opposite operations, and then you switch up what order you do it in. And it's just I've done it so much at this point, it's stuck in my head. And if you want to learn it, you will be able to as well. So there's that. Now we're moving on to temperature conversions 2, which is the second thing that's in today's folder. Alrighty, so really quickly, just want you to do some conversions from Fahrenheit to Celsius. So first, what's our formula? We're going from Fahrenheit to Celsius, so what operations are we going to use? Right, operations that make the number smaller. We're going to use subtraction and division. So you're going to do the number here minus 32, and then you're going to hit enter, and then you're going to divide by 1.8. Do that for this first one. We've already done this one on the other sheet, so it shouldn't be so hard. And then you also know the information. So 32 minus 32 equals 0, and divide 0 by anything, and it's still 0. So 0 degrees Celsius. All right, pause it and do number 50. Do the second one. All right, here we go. 50 minus 32 equals, divided by 1.8 equals 10. 10 degrees Celsius. All right, last one I'm doing with you. The rest of them are on your own. 65 minus 32 divided by 1.8 equals 18.3 degrees Celsius. All right, you're going to do all those on your own. When you have those all done, you're going to come down here to the bottom and create your own temperatures. And I mean, I don't mind if you get, really ridiculously high temperatures or really ridiculously low temperatures, whatever you want to do. And then you need to do the conversions over here. When you're done with that, hit submit. The last thing in today's folder is called temperature conversions number 3. It's a slides. This one I'm not really going to do much of it at all with you because this one's the one that's really for the grade. And so I want to see what you can do on your own. But I do want to show you how it's set up since it is a little different than what we've been doing. So on this one, the formula is there, so you don't have to memorize it or anything. But you're going to just write whatever the starting temperature is. So that's written over here. So start temp is 45. So you can type that into the box. And then you're going to do your formula, and it's right there. So 45 minus 32. And then write that answer. That's 13. And then it said divide by 1.8. So divide by 1.8. And that's 7.2. So the end temperature is 7.2 degrees Celsius. So that's all you got to do. I think there's 4 pages of slides. But you need to go ahead and do all of those and then hit submit when you're done. Thanks a lot. Make sure you message me if you have any questions. Have a lovely day and make good decisions. Bye.